Hello, beautiful family, lovers of good things, lovers of beautiful things all over the globe. I bring greetings from a grateful heart. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on your time zone. Thank you so dearly for always tuning into this platform. I really do appreciate. Please do it to like our video, share, and subscribe. Today, I have a wonderful one that I want us to watch, and I will be watching it with you. Sit back, watch it, and I'll be right back.
So I can do help by any here in South Africa. Police is there because of 1,500 lands can do a belong. So I am much again. Because I don't.
Well, so do you have a permit in South Africa?
I don't have permit, but I have asylum.
Okay, so asylum get the all kind of process.
No, I'm on COVID-19 and one. Since then, over there, they play asylum as non internet. Everything they do from internet. My fellow is boy for me. If you go to Miamazo, it's going to go to Yamazo to but soon Noga, Omanda Kamalo, yeah, I am here. No, blows also more being with that issue in South Africa.
Okay, Imana, this one is a national thing now, it is different because all issue of their immigration thing, or something something with influence. So when you go get asylum, you go get asylum. No, you renew here, and you renew here. You renew here can process. So all the system and adapt because, for example, country like some of the countries in Europe, with some issues, only take it up to 1 year. You got to go. So I'm man can go look 1 year.
Since 2020.
Okay.
2020 to now.
Okay, so you just have to, at least the mobile not be able to get from there. So you just have to, wait, because there is no way. No, Nick and the Siki, Nick and the Riadro, as in I'm a beg then and Nick and the Riadro need a guy interview. That is when we can now come in to, let them know that yes, you are truly a Biafran and that Nigeria government are killing us, which they are doing. So and try to tell them that if you go back, you are vulnerable. To be kidnapped by them and also killed by them, like they do from the airport, even directly from the airport or from your home. So from that, is in please, you people should be watching. Don't bring anybody that doesn't have Biafra. I've said it before, and watch the person before you bring the person. So the issue is that I will just tell you to wait. Wait as long as possible. And they are going to respond to you because some countries they do like that. Except if there is anything that is, and you know that South Africa is completely a different world. So they have their ways. They treat Nigerians, those who have Nigerian passport and all that. So it's completely a different thing. And I know that there is a crisis in South Africa, and they are fighting against the other Africans and especially Nigerians. They don't want to see you. So you have to also have that at the back of your mind. So this issue of the renewing documents in South Africa, we know that it has been a problem. But in Biafra, hey, Jesus Christ, if you are Biafran and you are having a Biafra passport as a Biafra citizen, you don't, oh my God. If you find yourself in South Africa, you know that we have failed. I am telling you, if you go to South Africa, mean that everything we do, we have failed. Because you don't have any reason to go there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mazi. Salute. All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Okay, Chief. Please unmute yourself. Okay, Chief.
Unmute. The dragon himself. Good evening.
Good evening, Ogechi. How can you come here? How can you come here to be one of the first people that are speaking? How did you do it?
Now, Grace, now carry on here.
Go ahead, Papa.
Bros, sorry, that see that email when you be flash. Now you but show. I don't know how possible for war for people to see people like us. If it's possible.
I'm sharing it now. Can you see?
Maja has shared it in all the platform almost.
Okay, all right. So
okay, so what I want to ask another one now. And for the people who chop at the road for this West junction, so when you say that they are still go on. So the fear for the paper, right? For the letter, because I don't quick join. I just they come in, so I come jump for that, so they analyze the issue. No
Yeah.
verse.
Yeah, yes, of course, you can apply for the letter, to be added as a supplement or annex to your application. Yes, but you have to, first of all, when you are writing to this email, you send them in brief. What is what is the content? What is the reason for your asylum? You will know that your asylum is probably Biafra and stuff like that, but individual stories are always different. So you have to be able to give them brief of why you are seeking, of where the reason you gave them, and also you sure you give the address of the authority, like which of the authority this letter will be addressed to, because the letter have to have the name of the authority that is being addressed to. So it's very important you provide the details of the authority, the name of the authority, and the address of the authority.
Okay, that means if the issue letter give you feel send and give your advocate to.
The letter, the idea is this letter, you give the letter to your lawyer, and that the lawyer should add it, send it to the authority, part of your supporting document.
Okay.
And yes, and then also I want to inform you people that when you are telling story about your asylum, you must tell your story in details. Don't feel that the place where you are knows where Nigeria is located. Don't feel that the place where you are knows the story about Biafra. No, you are going to tell people who never heard anything about you, who never heard anything about Nigeria, who don't know where Nigeria is, who don't know whether Biafra existed. The people, you must be going to tell them a story from scratch, and then tell them the problem you have, tell them how Nigeria have been killing us, tell them how Fulani have taken over our land and want to convert us to Islamic State, tell them how Nigeria is an Islamic country, tell them how many terrorist group is coming from the northern Nigeria, tell them how many people have been killed in our quest to leave Nigeria, tell them that now the fire is on, and tell them that finally we are going to stop Nigeria from conducting an election in our land next year. Tell them that that is going to lead to another catastrophe if care is taken. Tell them that they should watch the different broadcasts that we are making and awareness we are creating. Also, copy this link of this Feva conference on Biafra asylum seekers all over the world and share them. Let them watch and listen and see by themselves. The problem we are having in Europe today and other parts of the world is because Nigeria is not listed as a crisis zone. You need to tell them how many people are dying in Nigeria every day, how many people are being killed by the state-sponsored terrorism, because Nigeria is a country that has the highest number of deaths every day caused by terrorists sponsored by the government. Okay, so in most of the countries that you have war going on, like in Somalia, people are not being killed the way they are killed in Nigeria. A country like Afghanistan, people are not dying the way they die in Nigeria. Country like Ukraine, where there is bombardment and aircraft every day, bombing and all that, people are not being killed the way they're killed in Nigeria every day. So these are the things that the world need to know. And it doesn't come from any other person. You have to tell your story yourself and give them evidences of from the internet, even when they are not complete. Give them evidences of what we are sharing on social media that the Nigerian government is printing on us. Give them those pictures, explain. But the picture is a general thing. If it doesn't happen to your family member or to you directly in sense, but you just have them, for them to know the condition of people in your land. But asylum is not granted based on general problem. Asylum is granted based on individual cases. How does that particular situation affect you? Thank you very much. Next person.
Can I come more on?
Go ahead.
Go on.
Okay, and for those applying for asylum or all this, go in purpose, because when you are to be eligible for a refugee or asylum, individual must meet statutory, of course, the definition of refugee. In US, found in the Immigration and Nationality Act of 142. The term refugee is, of course, defined any person who is outside any country of such a person's nationality, or is outside any country of the person's last habitation, okay, and who is unwilling to return to and unable to or unwilling to avail himself or herself of that protection of that country because of persecution on account of race, religion, nationality, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion. We know that Biafrans, have this problem of social and political opinion. Okay, so to qualify as a refugee or asylum, the persecution that is suffered or feared must be on account of protected grounds. Okay, race, religion, nationality, membership, and of course, a social group. Like I said, so that is where the Biafrans, and the political opinion is where the Biafrans, their status is, engraved. So you must know all these things. You must know whether if you're in a country already, you can apply for asylum. But if you're outside, a country, like you're still in Nigeria, because some of you are still in Nigeria, so and you want to apply for refugee, so we must meet all the standard, all these status before you now apply for refugee. If you're still in Nigeria, you can apply for refugee, and of course, when you are inside a country, even if your passport is expired, you can apply for asylum. Because I've seen some people who will say, "Oh my God, my passport is expired. I don't know where to go again," and you'll be running helter skelter. So that is the opportunity for you to, go and apply for asylum. And of course, if you apply for asylum, nobody is going to refuse it, okay? Because you're feared of where you're heading to, and then when you get to your country, you might be killed or be, put in jeopardy. So those are the things you have to, have in mind while applying for either refugee or apply for asylum. Thank you.
All right, I just make some quick corrections. Those who are, of course, this program is not targeted at those who are in Nigeria. So, anybody that is in Nigeria, this program is not meant for you. So that is one, yeah. And then, so I think I will continue to take questions from people, and then we'll be addressing those questions. All right. So if you are from Nigeria, please don't come here to ask questions because this program is not for you. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. We move. Ekwe Kalistus. Unmute yourself, please. Ekwe Kalistus. Ekwe Kalistus. Unmute yourself. If you're not ready, I go to the next person. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Good evening.
Go ahead.
Good evening. Right on.
All hail Biafra.
All hail Biafra.
I greet you all. May God Chukwu Okikobiama bless you people. Well, I'm happy for what our able spokesman, Mazi Simon Akpa, is doing for us, and every autopilot. I'm so happy. I based in Libya country. This is a Libya country, was a country, because all these things we need to know how we can do it. And our able spokesman, please, I ask you people, how did the Libya people have for IPOP meeting? Since then, I never knew any reply because I never used to call.
Please, I don't understand your question. Are you an asylum seeker in Libya or what?
No, I'm in Tripoli in Libya.
So is your question bordering on asylum application or what?
I want to join at least for fundraising in USA, but I doesn't know where they are.
Contact any of the media team to give you the number of Libya autopilot join. This is not we are not in a broadcast now where we're seeing the people who wouldn't have contacts to autopilot. This is strictly for asylum seekers around the globe. So contact any of the media team and they're going to put you through. Thank you very much. So please, next person.
Is Blessing Chris Matthew. Unmute yourself, please. Blessing Chris, unmute yourself.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening and welcome to the program.
Okay. My question is concerning my brother who is in Italy.
Okay.
Thank you very much, man. So my question is concerning my younger brother who is in Italy, but his case is kind of complicated. So I'll just make it short. When he got to Italy in 2020 December, he stayed in Italy camp. So some kind of friends deceived him in February. He went to France. So while he stayed in France for 8 months, they told him to go back to Italy. And they took him back to Italy. I don't manage, he went back to France again. So I think they jailed him for 6 months. So to get his feedback, he has been outside, even in this school, he has been outside. So I told him to try and get a lawyer who can assist him because he said he went to Questoria and they gave form which they wrote in Italian language, but he couldn't fill it. So he had to look for a lawyer who saw a man, an Igbo man, who had to fill the form. So on the form, they requested he should put address. And without the address, he can't submit the form. So the man told him to put the address of where he's coming from in France. So we now ask him why is he coming from there. He should tell them that they told him to come back to Italy. So I don't know how we can assist him on this issue because the boy is actually outside in the cold. He doesn't have anywhere to stay.
That doesn't sound like you know what is going on there, because first of all, Italy is a messed up place. We know that Italy have big problem with immigration and asylum applicants. We know that there are influx of immigrants into Italy. We know that, and so Italy they have been having this problem, and that is the problem they have with the European Union. So another thing is that if you come to Italy, you travel from Italy, you seek asylum in Italy, you travel from Italy to any other part of Europe, you are being guided by what we call the Dublin Agreement. You know, that's what we call Dublin Regulation. The Dublin Regulation is that any place you first of all enter, become responsible for your international protection application. So even if you go to France to 100 times, they are still going to take him back to Italy. So now going to France, and he was deported back to Italy. I believe that France may have given him an ban, and that entry ban may be also either only to France or to the to the entire Schengen state apart from Italy. So if he go back to France again, having entry ban enforced maybe for 2 years, and he go back to France again without knowing that the entry ban is still being enforced, it may also require that they put him into custody. He may not necessarily go to prison, like you said, they lock him for 6 months in prison. He may not necessarily prison, but he may be locked up in a deportation camp to safeguard his deportation back to Italy, and that is the punishment they give him for breaching that particular entry ban order. So they can lock him up there, pending when Italy will give them a green light to bring him back to Italy. So that can take up to 3 months, 4 months, 5 months sometimes. So so if you go back to it, they will still take him back to Italy. And what I would advise him to do is to get a legal personnel in Italy there. And I don't think that because of address, if you an asylum applicant in Italy, no matter how bad it is, there is still a way they treat them, and he's not the only person seeking asylum in Italy that doesn't have a place to stay. So he should get a lawyer and fix himself. And then after that, when he gets the sojourner or whatever they call it in Italy, he can be able to travel to any part of Europe, and maybe for 3 months, because that is what most people in Italy do. When they get residence permit, they can travel to other parts of Europe to look for a job. So that's what I would advise him to do. He must look for a lawyer who will now help him to file the asylum application and follow it up until the document is granted. Italy is also a very easy place, for asylum applicants, only that there is no job there as such, and only that they treat them differently. The reception condition in Italy is quite, is nothing to write home about. We agree on that, and that is the problem we are facing. We're having with Italy, and we know the problem there. There is a problem there. So, but he is not the only person seeking asylum in Italy. So that address can never be the problem, and it can never be the reason why he's having a problem. So I am suggesting that he get a lawyer there who will help him through the asylum process. But what I'm very sure of is that Italy is not going to deport him to Nigeria very easily. That is not happening. Italy don't have that time, and they don't have the resources to do that. So they will try to even help you. Once you get the document, push you can go out of Italy to look for how to help yourself and all that. And the document to get Italy may not give you the right to work in other part of Schengen state. And this is what other people do not know. But at least it gives you some kind of it creates an opportunity for you, because within 3 months you stay in other part of Schengen state, you can fix yourself. You can do anything and work and fix yourself, and at least you are legal in Europe. So that's all I can do. I can advise him to make sure he stick and get a lawyer and fix himself. The reason why he is having problems is not because of address. That I can assure you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
But what about the letter? Can we still get the letter?
The letter, I have flashed the email address. So yes, he can also request. Okay. He can also request for that letter and give it to the lawyer to back his application.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. That's all.
Thank you. Next person is Wow.
Konkwo, you are keep time. Keep your time, oh.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, still yeah, we still have time. Yeah.
Go straight to your question, please. Straight to your question, please.
Hello. All here to Biafrans.
We have less than half an hour, eh?
All Biafrans.
All hail Biafra.
All hail autopilot.
All hail autopilot. You are using your two minutes time, oh.
Yes, Samalipa, I want to use this opportunity to thank you for the great job that you have been doing. You are really indeed a brother, and Chukwu Kiabama will continue to bless you and strengthen you for the wonderful job you are doing. Samalipa, I want to ask for a favor because I live in Sweden. I also applied for asylum, but just that I didn't have that document, the letter they asked me to bring. So they were like, they want to return me back to Nigeria. Well, you know, these people, they don't believe that something is happening in Nigeria because Nigeria is not war zone. But I've been able to get a lawyer who is asking me now to find a way to get that letter to give to him to submit to the immigration. But the problem I'm having is this, I will be honest with you. You know, some of them don't want to believe autopilot, but I believe autopilot because I know you are doing a very great job. So they are like taking money, they don't want to, even if you pay, they won't give you the letter. So that's why I come on this line to ask for a favor for your help because I'm in a tight situation right now.
I don't know where in this program. I believe I have answered the question, right? It is not even a question, it is a comment. I believe I have addressed this your comment before. Or did you not hear me when I addressed it?
Yeah.
First of all, I said nobody is paying money to the Biafra government in exile for this letter. Biafra government in exile is one of the most respected I would say, like a government that is in exile. So if a government is respecting any, it should be the Biafra government in exile at this moment. And that's what we are doing. We try to promote it so that we are going to go into our freedom just like every other nations have done in the past. So the Biafra government in exile is issuing this document now, and it is free of charge. So the email I flashed, the email of the Biafra government in exile, which Pastor Rose actually has posted on the comment section or so. You go there, copy the email, send a request, and you are going to receive a response. Give your details, your name, your address, and why you are seeking asylum, and the authority of the country where you are seeking asylum, where the letter will be addressed to, and you are going to receive your letter from them.
Okay. Thank you, because my lawyer also need the letter. So
I've just addressed you now. Your lawyer need letter now. Spirit you need them before. So your lawyer need the letter, immigration need the letter. Just write what I say and follow the story. This is the reason why some of you, your application is not successful, because when they ask you A, you are talking B. Instead of you to answer question, address what they ask you, you'll be talking something that is not even relevant to your application. Do you understand? When they ask you to tell your problem, you tell your problem the way it is and explain it in detail for the person to understand. About addressing the same issue, you are still making a comment about a lawyer reading the letter.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Yeah.
God bless you.
Bless you too.
All right. The next question is Galaxy tab A8.
Yes,
Galaxy tab A8. Right on, please.
Hello?
Oh.
Oh, hey, Biafra.
Oh, hey, Biafra.
Thank you so much for what you are doing.
Thank you.
Because anyway, somebody go so many years. And the problem now, Nigeria is what we are doing.
Obodo because I know.
Swiss.
Okay.
Nigeria is what we are and then you are watching right at the Obodo. And only a couple. Then you know, one don't have only Hungary. But since then, the person acquired here only kidney problem, modular operation. So since then, only problem with anything. The little years or I hold it to Yamwa or everyone only send the lady ego or Jazon and the lady persist in a man for go today. So I can see in Jotamakia. And the Amok so many people similar case Hana wine their channel. I do not hammer and where I phone so I can see in Jotamaki.
So the person on Swiss, the woman on where?
Hungary.
Hungary. If not, two different countries. So, so now, what is should is because this is a cross-border issue, and normally I would advise that he gets a lawyer in and file for visitation. So that visitation can be arranged because he is in a different country and the woman is in a different country. So he can get some kind of a visitation agreement outside. He can get also outside court settlement. This place we call it for a follow system. It can be on a mediation where they can reach into agreement because he is living in a different country and it is not very far from Switzerland. So he can maybe once in a month or once in 3 months, once in 4 months, he can go there, and see the child, the age, and all that. And then as time goes on, they can also go into agreement that the child can visit him in Switzerland. So this is what he has to do: is tell him to get a lawyer in Hungary and file the application to the court that he demand the right, the visitation right. It is not his right to visit the child, but it is the child's right to visit him. So this is the right of the child here we are talking about. We're not talking about the right of the woman. We're not talking about the right of the man. So the right of the child. So he must get the application filed to be able to come, go to that court and either settle out of court by agreeing to go into mediation. So that mediation is where they can discuss outside the court and into agreement on how the visitation will be arranged. And I believe it doesn't take anything away, only that if he is ready to travel to Hungary every 3 months, every month, or every 2 months, I believe the often so one problem because you have very healthy to go to travel and kids now. So he should wait and treat himself. When he gets better, he can start the process by doing what I said.
Okay.
Okay. Mazi, I have a little question. I've been hearing you talk about Adura. I don't know what you mean by that.
Adura is the name for asylum. Honorable na Indomie umadana. Honorable is an Indomie umada, so don't worry.
Okay, we move.
Go ahead.
Samsung SMA1255F. Unmute yourself, please.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Yes, good evening, my brother.
Hello.
I'm here to for contribution. I want Mr. Simon to address. I want him to address the situation where people tell their stories, and then when they come back after 2 or 3 years to tell the same story, but they end up telling something else. So, Simon, to please address. Let people know that the story you tell from the beginning is the same story you are going to tell the way it is after 3 or 4 years when they call you back to come and say the same story. They should always have a document to back up the story they tell years back. Thank you.
All right. I think if I understand correctly, so do you mean that have you been in a situation where somebody was granted asylum and then invite the person again to come and tell the story? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yes, they do. When you come the first time, the story you tell, after 3 or 4 years, they have to call you back to tell that. It's a process.
Yes.
Yeah. So after years, they will call you back to come and the same story.
Is it before? Is it before the document is given or after the document is given?
No, first of all, after when the document is given, the first document is given to you, blue paper. After some years, they have to call you back.
Okay, that's what I want to know. That's what I want to know, because the thing is that if you are given asylum and they invite you to tell the story again, it means that something has happened along the line, that your information is questionable. The information, something has happened that, made them to now try to ask you the same, to know whether, why that particular has happened along the line. It can be anything. So sometimes is that when people seek asylum and, along the line, they granted them with a residence permit, and then along the line they get married and something revealed that there is another name attached to their name. Okay, they have another third name. Maybe they have another given name, and that name appeared when the person feel that, okay, I have now my residence permit, so let me come out clean now. Let me add my real name now to it. So without knowing that, they are now jeopardizing their chances of retaining that residence permit. So in that case, the government of that country may request possibility for rejoinder why some have changed along the line, and then they can invite you for interview. It can lead to interview, and that interview may also have some kind of clause that your residence permit may be revoked if something like this happens and something like that happens. So in that case, yes, you will be invited to for another hearing to know where those stories you told and you said this and now something have changed. So why did this thing have changed? Why did you not say this? Just using the name as an example, it could be anything. So in that case, of course, the only thing you need to do is to tell the reason why you have added this name and why the name have changed. You'll be able to bring something that will prove beyond reasonable doubt. For example, up to getting your birth certificate legalized and bring it and to show, because as Nigeria is now, most of the countries don't recognize Nigeria passport. We have been able to achieve that. The only thing they recognize now is even your birth certificate is fake, but they value it more than your Nigeria passport. In Finland, Nigeria passport is not a means of identification, and it is not valid as what you use to identify yourself in Finland. I'm telling you this, I think I've said it before. So if you bring Nigeria passport to Finland now, it is not an identity. You can't be verified with Nigeria passport in Finland today officially. So,
oh my God.
Yes, so you can bring your birth certificate, and they can somehow, even though they know it may be fake, but just to show you how bad the whole thing is, but they value the birth certificate, Nigeria passport. So officially, Nigeria passport is a means of identification in Finland. Now, another issue that could happen is that if you arrive the country, they do the preliminary investigation, and the investigation is that they're going to ask your name, where you come from, how you come to that country, and all that. Then after that, they're going to let you go. And this letting you go can stay can be 1 year, it can be 2 years, depending on your country. And then they will finally invite you to, to come for interview. To come for interview. And after that, you are going to, be invited for the interview. After the invitation for the interview, you can now tell your story. The initial story that you told on your arrival is not like the major story why you come to seek asylum, because the reason why they are asking you is the first time was a preliminary investigation. So you can't tell the same story. Now this the main asylum hearing, you have to tell yours in details. So that is another one. The third one is that yes, it can be that if they invite you for immigration interview to ask you question again. In some cases, if you have seek asylum somewhere else, and then you disappear, and then you come out again after a few years to re-asylum, and they have to ask you question again and to tell the different stories. This is one of the reasons why people do that. And of course, when this story changes, it depends on the individual. It is not a must that the story you have 4 years ago will be the same story you are going to have now. On that ground, you may never get asylum because the story you have 4 years ago or 5 years ago is regarded. The story you have 4 years ago or 5 years ago is regarded as old story. So the threat may not be real again after 5 years. Okay, but if it is to confirm that you told 5 years ago, nobody can remember those stories except certain people, because it is a pain that you have gone through. And so many people will want to forget the pains and all that. So if you don't remember the story you told, it's understandable that when you go to the immigration, they want to verify whether the story is true. You just tell them you don't remember again, and you don't want this thing, you don't want to remember this pain. It's just like opening the wound. So the best defense is to just tell them that you don't want to open your wound if there is something that will go wrong. But what I want to tell you people today is that sometimes if you have, so one reason or the other disappeared and they appeared again, and then you tell this story, you tell that story, the story may have changed, because at that particular point in time, when you are filing this application after 4 years, after 5 years, the story in your country have changed in Nigeria. Like last year, if you are coming from Biafra land, seeking asylum in Europe, it's not the situation you see last year that you are going to see this year. So things have changed. A lot has happened that you need to be added to this new story, and that makes it more, interesting. And so I will advise everybody that when you are going to apply asylum or there is any reason why you are invited for anything, first of all, you have to now connect the first story you have told in the past. You will say, in addition to what I have said in the past, this is the current situation of my country. This is the current situation of my, if I go back to, if you take it back. So connecting this old story I've done in the past, whatever they are, it doesn't matter. But we are not talking about the present, because it is the present that determines what they're going to do to you. So just make sure whatever, because this, some of the immigration don't want you, and they are doing everything to take you back home. So it is your responsibility to disregard whatever happened in the past. They're asking you. Tell them that everything I've said in the past is the same, but I'm connecting it now to the present condition. And then begin to tell the story of the present, how it will affect you and all that. So they know that you are very, very grounded on what you are doing. And of course, you are not lying, because Biafra are being killed every day. And that is what we are trying to do now, to bring it to the world. And so that all this, Nigeria is not a crisis zone, this Nigeria is not a crisis zone, that will end this year. Because from next year, I hope they are not going to see the crisis. But believe me, the world will know that we are really fighting for freedom. Thank you.
Simon, we have 5 minutes and we still have 10 people hand up. So
that 5 minutes, we're going to stick to it. Next time, the people that didn't ask their question today will continue.
Okay, Mazi, please, can you throw more light on this? I know we're not talking about immigration, refugee, but they have sent me some questions. And they're talking about, okay, what if they came in as a refugee in a country and they want to apply for asylum? Are they still going to repeat the first story they told before coming into the? So please, can you highlight more on this?
If people come into a country as a refugee, the one thing is that nobody, if you come into a country as a refugee, you already have a refugee status. Okay? Refugee means that the UN have accepted and you have a UN document. So that person will come to a country as a refugee. But if you are coming to a country to apply for asylum, to seek asylum, so because these are two different things. So there are people that already have a refugee status. They can bring them from Africa. They can pick you. Like most of the time during the Liberia problem and all that, a lot of them are in Nigeria. We're in Nigeria. And some countries volunteered to pick those people that already have refugee status staying in Nigeria, for example, to Europe. So some of them were picked by different countries. They're giving them refugee status directly from Africa. So pick them from there and bring them to Europe on based on refugee status. So are you talking about people who comes to a country to seek asylum, right?
Yes, when they left their country, like those in Nigeria left as a refugee to United States, and they want to apply for asylum.
No, before, because they cannot live as a refugee, they go to the United States with a visa, right?
Yeah.
So when they go to the United States with a visa, then now after the expiration of the visa or before the expiration of the visa, they already have the intent in their mind that immediately they go to America, they're going to seek asylum, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what is the question again? If that's those kind of people, what is the question again?
So the story they told while coming in, are they still going
okay?
To tell it?
No, the story they told why they are coming to America is irrelevant, because if you go to American embassy to tell the story to seek asylum, I don't think anybody is going to give you a visa. Okay? So nobody will give you a visa to go to America to seek asylum. I told story either that somebody invited them, or either that they are going there for whatever reason they give. So, but they can never give reason running away from Nigeria, and American embassy will give visa. Never. So, but when they go to America and decide to seek asylum, then whatever story they told in Nigeria is not relevant, because at that particular point in time, just like I said, if you go to embassy and you are desperate running away from people that want to kill you, you can do anything. And if somebody is bringing you to that person also don't know what is in your mind. So somebody can bring you to come and visit him, does not mean that person is aware that you're planning to seek asylum. So for those who will be scared that if you seek asylum in my name, I bring you, I'm going to have a problem, is a lie. Defend yourself. Okay? Because the people you are bringing are adults. So whatever that is, you don't know. So the person can make up his mind. You can't stop the person. Okay? So if the person come to America, let the person apply asylum based on the problem he or she have back home, which you may not be aware of. You that is bringing the person. Do you understand? So that's how it goes. So the reason why the person get the visa and how the story he told or she told in the embassy is irrelevant.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Our time over.
Frank, unmute yourself, please.
Okay, hello.
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 I greet all autopilots, including our Dragon and Omada. I greet everyone.
Hello, beautiful family. How are you all doing? Thank you so importantly for always tuning in. I really do appreciate. If today the first time you are coming across us, Or you are hearing our voice for the first time, we still remain your one and only, ever ready, bringing it to you, as you all know. So, my wonderful family, without not wasting much of your time, today I just want us to do quick